mean, that sea moss. I mean, sea moss with tangerine and honey. Gotta stay healthy. I wanna cook. I got a very interesting topic. I'm just waiting for some people to jump on the live right now. Tune in. Yo, salute, low nose boxing. You know how I carry it. Hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment. You already know, man. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be possible. Low nose boxing. Pardon the noise in the background. I'm washing clothes right now. What I want to talk about is Bob Arum. Bob Arum recently stated that he wants a Teofimo Lopez. Let me get myself set up real quick. You know I don't really be doing lives like that. Whoever's on the live, leave a comment, man, so I can know who's on, who's tuning in. Bob Arum recently stated that he wants to see Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Heaney next, assuming Teofimo Lopez handles his business against Steve Claggett. Here's what I think about that. That ship has sailed. I don't care for that fight as of right now. It's a disrespect that Teofimo Lopez, the lineal junior welterweight champion, has to compete in the losers bracket. Tell me, why does he have to compete in the losers bracket? Tell me. Why are they talking about Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Heaney? Devin Heaney, despite the fact that his loss to Ryan Garcia got overruled to a no contest, we can't overrule what we saw at the end of the day. We can't. Devin Heaney got beat up from pillar to post. He got knocked down 5 times. He nearly got stopped. He got dominated by an underdog, by a fighter that he called a C-class fighter, by a fighter that he called a drug addict, a drunk, a cokehead, right? So if Teofimo Lopez were to fight Devin Heaney right now and knock Devin Heaney out, he's not going to get credit. He's not going to get credit. The detractors are going to say, Teo knocked out Devin Heaney, he's damaged goods. Right, that's what they're going to say. And if Teo struggles and goes 12 rounds with Devin Heaney, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good at all. Teo versus Devin Heaney, that's basically going backwards. Why is he going to be placed in the losers bracket? Sports don't work that way. That's like in baseball. That's like the playoffs, for instance. The first round team that wins, right, to advance to the next round. And the other team, let's say the team on the National League East, right, that team wins. And then the team on the National League West loses. Is the team that won gonna play the team that lost? Come on, make it make sense. It doesn't make no sense at all. It doesn't make any sense. You got guys at 140 pounds that have momentum, that have wins in their last fights. You got Puello, you got Jack Catterall, you got Liam Powell, you still got Javante Davis. Man, I'll even take Keyshawn Davis. I'll take a Keyshawn Davis versus Teofimo Lopez fight over Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Heaney right now. Now, I'm not saying that Teo versus Devin Heaney is a fight that's completely dead, because it's not. But Devin Heaney has to bounce back. Devin Heaney got to rebound, whichever way possible. He got to come back and beat somebody credible, or he has to beat Ryan Garcia in a rematch to get that Teofimo Lopez shot. Because right now at this moment, despite Devin Heaney having a WBC belt, Teofimo Lopez is the champion. He's the top dog. He's the one that went out there and beat Josh Taylor, dominated Josh Taylor, right? If you're looking to build a fighter into a star, into a pay-per-view attraction, into a pound-for-pound fighter, you want to match him up against the best possible competition, right? Take Floyd Mayweather, for instance. Everybody Floyd Mayweather fought. People want to criticize him and all. Money Mayweather, whatever they want to say. He fought dudes coming off of their best performances. When he fought Miguel Cotto, right? Little do y'all know, a lot of people don't know this, that's a fight that was being marinated a long time prior to the time they fought in 2011, if I'm not correct. When Cotto, you already know I'm a historian, I'm in my bag right now. When Miguel Cotto fought Sugar Shane Mosley, that was 2007, right? 2007. Nah, Josh Taylor's not trash, bro. Josh Taylor might not be the same fighter, but going into that fight, Josh Taylor was the favorite, so we can't say he's trash, bro. We can't say that. Now, Josh Taylor beat Jose Ramirez. He beat Regis Prograis. He beat Branchek, I think his name is. He also beat Victor Postal. Josh Taylor's not trash. Now, like I was saying, Floyd Mayweather, right, and Miguel Cotto, they were on the collision course, right? Cotto beat Shane Mosley. Floyd Mayweather beat Ricky Hatton. And then Floyd Mayweather retired for a little while. Cotto lost to Margarito, right? And then eventually he lost to Manny Pacquiao. But he rebounded. He became a world champion at 154. And he eventually avenged his loss to Antonio Margarito. And that's when Floyd Mayweather fought him, coming off of a W, not a loss. When Floyd Mayweather took on Victor Ortiz, right? Floyd Mayweather was actually trying to get a fight with Andre Berto at the time. He went there live to watch that fight, anticipating Andre Berto to win, who was the favorite, right? What happened? Victor Ortiz won. Floyd Mayweather fought Victor Ortiz. Teo also beat Richard Comey, who was a world champion at the time, who was coming off of a knockout over a guy that went 12 rounds with Bud Crawford. I forgot the guy's name, man. Mexican dude, Mexican champion. But like I was saying, shout out though, thank you for tuning in regardless. We could listen, man. In my channel, there's no disrespect. We don't do that over here, bro. We can agree to disagree. It's all good. I respect your opinion, and this is how I see it. You know what I mean? Boxing OG, no. Heaney won't be able to handle the power of Lopez. I mean, that's a good fight. Don't get me wrong. Devin Heaney is a very good fighter, but right now he got to rebound. Teo Lopez don't got power. Y'all may come out to have. He does have power. It's that he fought guys that have been basically playing the safe. They're playing the safe for a reason. They get hit by his power and they go on the back foot. They start running. You are the guy that is supposed to be fighting Gervonta Davis? Are you? Huh? What do you mean? I don't get that. I'll take the bag. I'll get money. Why not? But yeah, like I was saying, what I was saying, Floyd Mayweather fought dudes coming off of wins, right? He wasn't fighting dudes coming off of losses. When Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather was being built, for so many years, Manny Pacquiao suffered that setback. He lost to Bradley in a robbery. He got knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez. Floyd didn't fight him, right? Manny Pacquiao had to rebound. He won 3 fights in a row, and then he eventually avenged one of those losses, which was to Tim Bradley, and then he got the Floyd Mayweather fight. So why is Devin Heaney being talked about for a fight with Teofimo Lopez when he's coming off of a loss? I mean, not a loss on paper, but the whole world saw that fight. It doesn't make any sense for Teo right now to fight Devin Heaney coming off of that whooping he took to Ryan Garcia. Teo has power, and he's come forward, and he's a come forward fighter with pop in both hands. Teo's more of a counterpuncher. He's not really. He'll come forward and bait you to try to punch you, then he'll step back and counter you. But he's not really a fighter that's effective in cutting the ring off, and that's definitely something he has to work on. Are you a boxer or simply a commentator? Thank you so much for your compliment, bro. I really appreciate that. I would love to be a commentator. And no, I'm not a boxer, but I dabbled with it a little bit when I was a kid. You know what I mean? I've been to the gyms, did some sparring, stuff like that. But at the time when I was a young boy, I was also 1 foot in, one foot out. I was getting into a lot of trouble back then, so I never got a chance to really take it seriously. But boxing is definitely my passion, and I enjoy it. I enjoy talking about it. I go to the gyms, and it is what it is. But yeah, thank you for the compliment. Boxing is rigged. So can you really say who's a good fighter? I don't know about that. I don't know if boxing is rigged. The sport of boxing is dead now. Everyone cares about their record and say no to the risky fights, which will make them great. This is why we love Manny. Manny Pacquiao is the type of fighter that he suffered losses early in his career, and yet he bounced back. We remember Manny Pacquiao for what he did, the greatness that he did, not the losses that he suffered early in his career, for sure. Teo had year after year to fight Devin and said no, but now he want to fight him after that. Teo never said he want to fight Devin right now. Bob Arum said that. Teo actually wanted to fight Devin Heaney in February when he was trying to get that arena, the MSG Sphere in Las Vegas, Nevada. He actually called Devin Heaney on the phone. He texted him. And Devin Heaney said that himself on the Boxing Voice. And then Devin Heaney brushed it off and said, "Oh, you're not a boss." So nah, bro. Teofimo Lopez tried to make that fight. Paul Masters, salute. Word, man, people think you have to be or have been a fighter to know boxing. I like to be humble, but I will say that I'm very knowledgeable in the sport. I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I appreciate the compliment, man. Paul Masters low, I think you, 4 Kings at 135 was kind of, bro, I don't understand what you were saying there. I think you got a typo, bro. I come in peace, brother. I know you do. And it's all good, man. Like I said, we can disagree. This is not, I don't want people to be on my platform to just agree with everything I say. I'm just not with the disrespect, calling each other names and stuff like that. We're just talking boxing at the end of the day, man. You know what I mean? You can have your opinion, I have mine. It's all good. So like I was saying, it's important to fight an elite guy, because Devin Heaney at the end of the day is an elite fighter. He has elite level skills. He became a champion for a reason. The guy is a very good fighter. But in order to make that fight attractive, in order to make that fight with something for Teofimo Lopez to gain, Devin Heaney has to go into that ring with momentum. And right now, he doesn't have any momentum. How often do you come on, bro? To be honest with you, man, I've been having a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel I've been a subscriber to YouTube for a few years, but I started recording content about a year ago. And then I don't really do lives that often. I mostly do short videos and stuff like that. But I'm going to start doing lives more often, though, for sure. I don't think the Devin is comparable to Hearns and Shakur to Leonard and to Hagler. Well, I don't want to call these guys the 4 Kings no more, out of respect for the original 4 Kings. What I would like to say is that I would like to call them the Fantastic 5. And you got to add Ryan Garcia in that mix regardless to how it went down. That's Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, and Devin Heaney. But it's crazy because this generation of fighters, a lot of them are so sensitive, you know what I mean? Excuse me. You had Teofimo Lopez supposedly retired, right? He came back. Ryan Garcia retired, right? Devin Haney retired. Shakur Stevenson, another one that retired and came back. The only one that hasn't done it yet is Gervonta Davis, you know what I mean? Fighters nowadays, they're not really too good at taking constructive criticism. They take it like you hating on them, you know? So I guess it is what it is. I don't think Devin can, he literally ducked Devin to fight Kambosos and lost. Bob even said, Devin, look, man, Devin Haney never went to that meeting. That meeting that Teofimo Lopez, that Devin Haney was supposed to have with Bob Arum, Devin Haney did not go to that meeting at all when Teo was the champion. However, he went to that meeting when when Kambosos was champion. So, who's ducking who? Do I think Devin Haney should fight Sandor Martin? Yeah, absolutely. Sandor Martin is a highly skilled, underrated fighter. If Devin Haney were to fight Sandor Martin, Devin Haney would have to win that fight even more impressively and convincingly than Teofimo Lopez did in order to get a TO shot. If he doesn't, then I would like to see Devin Haney take on Richardson Hitchens or somebody else that lost. Like I said, it's about a bracket, right? Why is it that people are talking about Devin and Teo? That's putting Teofimo Lopez in a loser's bracket. Feel what I'm saying? Once again, in sports, in the playoffs, the team that won the first round is not going to play the team that lost the first round. It doesn't work that way. If anything, Devin Haney versus Subriel Matias, that makes sense. That's a crossroad fight. Two fighters that have to bounce back. Or Devin Haney versus Gary Antoine Russell. That's another fight that makes sense. Sandor isn't guaranteed win. No, he's not. Because if Sandor Martin goes in that ring, right, and fights off the back foot, he's going to force Devin Haney to do something that we've never seen him do before. And that's the type of fight where he has to come forward and cut the ring off. We seen him try to cut the ring off against Ryan Garcia. We seen what happened. When he fought Lomachenko, he came forward. We seen what happened. So if Sandor Martin goes in there overly aggressive just because he seen what Ryan Garcia was able to do, then I can see Devin Haney outboxing you. But if Sandor Martin fights off the back foot like he did with Teo, but lets his hands go more, then I like his chances. I think Teo lost that fight. And that's your opinion, man. I saw that fight live, and I'm going to keep it a beam. I only gave Sandor Martin 2 rounds, 3 rounds the most. Nobody in Madison Square Garden even thought he won that fight. When Sandor Martin threw himself to the ground and started celebrating like he won the fight, the whole crowd was looking at him like he was crazy. And I've seen fights live before where the guy that won deserved to lose, and everybody was ecstatic, was upset behind that. Nobody had that reaction in Madison Square Garden at all. Teofimo Lopez did not lose that fight. It wasn't his best performance, but he won that fight clearly 7 rounds to 3 or 8 rounds to 2. And one of those rounds that he lost was that knockdown round. Don't forget about Wilfredo Benitez. He should have absolutely. See, Wilfredo Benitez, I believe the reason why he's not mentioned among the 4 kings is because he's the only one that did not get a chance to fight Marvelous Marvin Hagler. But I'm going to tell you right now, little known fact, Wilfredo Benitez was trained by his father, right? And his father also trained a Puerto Rican great by the name of Esteban de Jesus. Well, what Wilfredo Benitez and Esteban de Jesus have in common is both of those guys defeated Roberto Duran. So it's pretty much safe to say that Wilfredo Benitez's father was a very underrated trainer. I wish Puerto Rican fighters right now were as skilled as Wilfredo Benitez. Benitez was a special fighter. The guy would just move his head and make you miss by a fraction of an inch, right? Because in boxing, you see a lot of fighters that want to overmove their head too much. You don't want to move and be out of you don't want to move to where you're too out of range. You know what I mean? You want to just move enough where you can slip the punch and still be in range to get off your counters. Benitez would just make you miss by a fraction of an inch. he wouldn't overcommit to the slip, if it makes any sense. So yeah, like I was saying, man, I'm just in the crib right now. I just felt like doing a quick live. You know, it's like 100 degrees outside, so I figured people will be home right now tuned in. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about the Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Heaney talks. See, I want that fight to be a big fight. If Devin Heaney were to wipe out Sandor Martin and then go on to beat a Gary Antoine Russell, and let's say Teo takes out Claggett, and then probably takes out, let's say, a Jack Catterall next, or even a Keyshawn Davis, then I wouldn't mind seeing Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Heaney. But that fight has to be big again, because right now Devin Heaney doesn't offer anything. Even though he has a belt, we live in an age right now where belts don't even matter. It's more of who did you beat? What fighter did you beat? That's what's more important than an actual belt. I'm going to give you an example. Adrian Broner, right? 4th division champion. Anybody here on this channel right now that watches boxing, can somebody in the chat name me the 4 guys that Adrian Broner beat for those belts? Off the top of their head, without looking at BoxRec or Google. Tell me. Besides Paulie Malignaggi, tell me. You can't. And he's a 4th division champion. I thought Teo edged Sandor. He beat him. Nah, Adrian Broner's not a bum. Adrian Broner's a very good fighter. I believe that if Adrian Broner would have remained at 135 pounds, and let's say moved up to 140, rather than skipping 140 and going straight to 147, I think Adrian Broner would have had a better career. Antonio DeMarco, okay. Antonio DeMarco, yes, that was a decent fighter. And that's a very impressive win, because Antonio DeMarco, if I'm not correct, he went the distance with Edwin Valero, and Adrian Broner beat that guy pillar to post. That was his best performance, hands down. Them belts don't mean nothing when you get 4 of them per division. This is why I prefer, you know what's crazy? Jay Trinidad. See, a lot of people give me slack, because when I talk about back in the day when Roberto Duran was the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, right? At the time, it was a 2-belt era. So I was having a back and forth with Nestor Gibbs from the Boxing Voice, right? Shout out to him. And he said, oh, that's a 2-belt era. It's more difficult to be undisputed in a 4-belt era. Now, due to politics, I agree. It's harder to collect 4 belts. But if you're holding it down in a 2-belt era and you're undisputed and you're having a long reign like Roberto Duran did, that means that you're the best fighter. Because in a 2-belt era or a 3-belt era, with all due respect, there wouldn't be guys like Rolly Romero with a title. There wouldn't be guys like the Ukrainian boy that beat Navarrete, right, for that belt at 135. Because the guys that are the champions would actually be the best fighters in the division. So if those 2 fighters or 1 fighter with those 2 belts is beating all the top contenders, then he's head and shoulders above the rest. He's the best fighter in that weight class. So for me, if you're the undisputed champion in a 2-belt era or even a 3-belt era and you're holding it down, that holds more weight than the 4-belt era, in my observation. Absolutely. Roberto Duran was my father's favorite fighter. Roberto Duran is the greatest Latino fighter of all time. And I have Duran in my top 5 all-time great, period. Pound for pound. Too many belts nowadays. Yes, you're right. 4 belts is easier. There should only be 1 belt per division with an interim to signify the belts not unified. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. We're going to do a little trivia right now, right? Because obviously, you know, y'all failed the first one. All due respect, I asked y'all to name me the 4 champions that Adrian Broner beat for those belts. And y'all only came up with 2. Paulie Malignaggi at 147 and Antonio DeMarco at 135. You can't name me who he beat for a belt at 140. Y'all not naming me who he beat for a belt at 130. Duran definitely top 5. Don't forget about Alexis Arguello. Alexis Arguello is a great fighter, but he's not top 5. No, absolutely not. But he's definitely a legend, Hall of Famer, but not top 5. Top 5. Think about, here's my list, right? Top 5 pound for pound. Number one, I gotta go with Sugar Ray Robinson. Number two, I'm gonna go with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Number three, I'm gonna go with Muhammad Ali. Number four, I'm gonna go with Sugar Ray Leonard. Number five, I'm gonna go with Roberto Duran. That's my top five. Let me hear your top five. Top five pound for pound fighters of all time. Let me see y'all list. It doesn't have to be in order. Just the five who you feel are the five greatest fighters of all time. Go with fighters you watched. You can go with whatever you know, bro. Because I'm going based on what I know as well. Because if I talk to an old head, they're going to tell me Joe Louis. They're going to tell me Ezra Charles. In all due respect, those are legendary fighters, but I don't know about those fighters. I don't know about their history. I don't know about their resume. I'm going based on what I know. So if you've only been watching boxing since, let's say, 1990, I'm not saying that you did, but if you did, whatever you know, man, let me hear your top five. You got Marvin Hagler in the top five? No. I got Marvin Hagler in the top 10, though. Definitely got Marvin Hagler in my top 10. Or maybe top 15, but not top 5, no. Come on, we talk about a lot of great fighters. And that's not a knock on Marvin Hagler at all. Salvador Sanchez, that's a good pick. All right, you got Hagler. Give me your whole list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got Marvin Hagler, right? Boxing OG. You got a YouTube channel, bro? Anyway, you got Marvin Hagler. You got Alexis Arguello. You got 3 more. Let me see who you got. And what y'all think about this whole Ryan Garcia, Devin Heaney situation? Do you think they made the right call to overturn the win, make it a no contest, and to give Devin Heaney his O back? What y'all think about that? Speaking of Salvador Sanchez, I'm going to give you a fun fact. I always say that in boxing, you could have a win that might not be that much of a big win now, but that win could age into becoming a great win. Example, Floyd Mayweather defeated Canelo Alvarez, right? At the time, people were saying that Alvarez was green, inexperienced, and look at the legend that Canelo Alvarez turned into, right? And that's because that win aged, and that might actually be probably Floyd Mayweather's greatest win, because he beat Canelo Alvarez, who turned into a legend. And the reason why I'm mentioning this right now is because you said Salvador Sanchez. One of Salvador Sanchez's best wins was against a fighter at the time who was a replacement fighter, who was only 13-0, a fighter by the name of Azuma Nelson, right? This was actually Salvador Sanchez's last fight before he retired. Before he passed away at the age of 23, untimely. He defeated Azuma Nelson, right? Knocked him out in the late rounds. Azuma Nelson turned out to become the greatest African fighter of all time, right? So that win aged for Salvador Sanchez. Cyrus Joven, hi, I'm from the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines, bro. Adam B. Chavez, Duran, Roy Jones, Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson. That's a good pick right there for sure. You know. Roy Jones, Pac-Man, and Duran. Those 3 out of the guys you picked are definitely in my top 10 list for sure, for sure. Cyrus, definitely, absolutely, man. God bless you and your family, man. So the reason why I'm talking about, once again, how a certain win can age on your resume, take Gervonta Davis, for instance. You're welcome, champ. Gervonta Davis is a fighter that a lot of people were criticizing his resume. But over time, some of those wins have aged very well. He beat Mario Barrios, who went on to become a welterweight champion. He beat Isaac Pitbull Cruz, who went on to become a champion at 140. And he beat Ryan Garcia, who went on to, I can't say win, because it's no longer a win, but he went on to beat up Devin Heaney. Those are guys that Gervonta Davis beat. So at one point, I had Gervonta Davis probably at number 8 on my top 10 pound for pound list. But after that destruction of Frank Martin, despite Frank Martin not being a world champion, Frank Martin is a highly skilled fighter. I believe that's another win for Gervonta Davis that is going to age well. With that win, and what we seen with Pitbull Cruz, Ryan Garcia, and Mario Barrios, how they turned out to improve, for that alone, I got to move Gervonta Davis into my top 5 pound for pound. Anyway, I just finished washing my clothes right now. I got to log off. Thank y'all so much for tuning into my live. I'm definitely going to make it my best effort to try to do this more often. If you're not subscribed to my channel, feel free to subscribe. Hit the notification button. Low Nose Boxing. God bless. I'm out.